If this doesn't work out, I'm just going to be convinced that casual, effortless, blowout style hair is just not something that's possible for me. Where do we start, ladies? I feel like it's been ages since we just chatted. You know what I think I haven't told you guys about yet? My psychiatrist doubled my antidepressant dosage, and then I had like a solid 6 straight weeks where I didn't have any libido and I couldn't finish. Solo, not solo, it just couldn't happen, like physically impossible. I've also been dealing with really crazy nausea every single day because of that dosage. I think the libido issues seem to be resolving themselves kind of like as I pass that 6-week mark. I think my body's adjusting to the medication. And so I'm tentatively optimistic that that's resolving itself. The nausea hasn't gone anywhere. My doctor thinks it's possible that the medication is interacting poorly with my birth control. So now I'm back like to wondering whether or not I should be getting an IUD. So many doctors have told me I should just get an IUD, but I think they just push that really hard in the UK. Will I have the courage to get it this time? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to the States in April. I have a wedding in DC. I'm so excited. And then I'm going to stay for one day to see friends in DC. And then I think I'm going to go to Charleston and see Clara for like less than 24 hours. It's a very short trip. Like I'm going on a Friday and getting back on a Tuesday. That's how short the trip is. I was originally intending to stay for a lot longer and go to New York and go see my family. But in case you're not keeping up with the news, the UK announced last week that it had just received its final container of jet fuel. And so there are already airlines pulling flights. Flight prices are like skyrocketing. I've spoken to so many people here over the last 2 years, but especially this year, that are just like furious with the American government because the bad choices that it makes impact everyone worldwide. And they say this to me and I'm just like, yep. Sorry, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I voted for. I've been here for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years next month. And I've had so many conversations about the United States and American politics in that time. But this is by far the weirdest time to be an American living here. And it's weird because people will often like hear the American accent and bring this up and talk to me as if I am a proxy for all Americans. And like sometimes it feels like I'm being expected to answer for everything going on. And I'm just like, I hate it too. Like, I don't know what to tell you. What else? Still don't have a lease in London. I look every single day and almost every day I speak to letting agents on the phone. The London rental market is very intense. Things move quite quickly. And this is the first time I've ever been hunting for a rental and people are expected to bid on the rentals. Like you'll put in an application and then the letting agents will ask you 3 or 4 times, like, is that your best and final offer? And I'm like, offer on a rental price? And they're like, what's your final offer? And I say, the listed price. What are we even talking about? I very nearly had a place. The second place I almost had, but I actually withdrew my application for it last weekend because the house ticked every single box. The outdoor area was stunning. It had this beautiful back garden. Like the home itself ticked every box, but the neighborhood it was in, like the area it was in, was pretty grim. And I was trying to convince myself for a bit that like, I didn't care so much about that because I spend so much of my time at home anyway. I'm such a homebody. Unless I'm actively traveling, most of my time I'm at home. And I tried to convince myself that I didn't care that much. And then I had a weekend to think about it. And I was like, you know what? I feel like someplace like London, your location really does matter. So I withdrew the application, but obviously that means back at square one again, which is frustrating. We'd intended to already be down there by now. So I'm definitely feeling antsy, but I just feel like long term, I will be happier if like we continue to hold out for the house that's truly perfect, the house I am manifesting. And maybe the universe is testing me to see if I will accept less than what I am manifesting. It's all going to work out with the timing that it's meant to work out in, but we're feeling antsy. We both just want to get down there. My training for the Cotswold Way, which in case you missed it, I'm hiking the Cotswold Way. It's a 102-mile journey between Chipping, Camden, and Bath, and I'm hiking it solo this summer. And my training for it hit an unexpected pause last week because we have been having some of the worst, like most unpredictable weather in Scotland that I've seen in my entire time here. Maybe you saw the video that I posted of like the hailstorm that I got caught in when I was like doing a training hike last week. It snowed yesterday on Easter Sunday. It's like April and it was dumping buckets of snow. The weather, like, I can't remember the last time there was a day without either a wind advisory or like just insane amounts of rain or hail. Like, probably most of us. I feel like every day the state of the world brings me a ton of anxiety, and I'm sure that's true for you guys too. It just always feels like you think that things can't get worse, and then they get worse and you're like, ugh. I think the most anxiety inducing part of it all is that there's no clear end in sight, and I don't even know what would have to happen in order for the states to start rebuilding and repairing its relationship with the rest of the world. Like, I don't even know the steps that would have to be ticked off before we could even start doing that. And then who knows how long it would take once we even start down that path, and who knows when we're going to start down that path. And it's just this like daily conflict between wanting to be informed and not wanting to feel insane. I'm back on YouTube. I took a 3-month break completely unintentionally. It just ended up being that long because I was temporarily insane. So we're, again, cautiously back. I feel like it would be helpful in the world of mental health awareness if we started talking about some mental health conditions with the language that we use to describe chronic illnesses, because it's like chronic mental illness, but for whatever reason we don't use that language. Probably because even now in the big 2026, there's still this pervasive attitude that, you know, it's all in your head, or mental health conditions aren't as serious or as debilitating or take over your life in the same way that a physical ailment would. Even just the difference in saying like, I need a sick day versus I'm taking a mental health day. Like, they're all sick days. In terms of my like mental health situation, you guys know I'm like working on maybe changing my diagnosis or getting a new diagnosis or just figuring that out. That's still on pause because of these antidepressants. My psychiatrist wanted us to kind of take care of some of the daily depression symptoms before we start working in towards real assessments, because it's kind of hard to tell what's what when there's like a depression cloud. But we have not gotten the antidepressants, like that dosage right. We haven't gotten the mix of medication right. So that's kind of on pause still until we figure out the depression. The 6 weeks where I couldn't orgasm was rough. It's not even not just that I couldn't orgasm, couldn't get wet, didn't feel any desire, like no libido. It's like that entire part of my being as a human just stopped working completely, which is so frustrating. Frustrating for me, it's frustrating for my husband. Like, obviously he's completely understanding and supportive, but like it sucks for both of us. What else? I'm kind of in the middle of saying weight loss journey sounds really intense, because it's not as intense as that. Really like a overhaul of lifestyle habits. I did realize that I felt the most physically confident in myself in 2023, and my lifestyle was a lot different. I was actually watching my old vlogs from 2023, which is the year before I moved, and my lifestyle was just a lot different. Matt and I were watching the vlogs together, and we were both like, we led different lives then. And then when we moved here, because it's such a huge disruptor into your life, like moving countries, there were just so many parts of our healthy lifestyle back then that we just kind of never got back into post-move, even though now it's been 2 years. And I did gain weight when I moved, and I also think part of that is because of like ongoing health issues that I've been having with my digestion. And then I also think part of that was the crazy birth control thing that was going on. I'm convinced that my house is riddled with mold. Did a mold test and it came back negative, and I'm just like, there's no fucking way, because every single week something else is leaking into the walls and in the ceiling and the floors here. I don't know. Health-wise, it's always a journey. And part of that for me is wanting to get back to how I looked and how I felt in 2023. But I'm not doing anything like crazy drastic about it. That's why I hesitate to say like weight loss journey. It's more so that I'm hoping that if I address certain things in my lifestyle, my body will naturally go back down to the weight that I was pre-move, if that makes sense. Right, I'm gonna take all this out. Wish me luck.